Is this heaven?
No, it's a podcast. Welcome to the Field of Geeks podcast.
Welcome to episode 172 of the Field of Geeks podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm David.
And I'm Bill.
Two guests with us today. David, you haven't been on for a while, but you've been on many times, so welcome back. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
Very exciting. And of course, Bill, a reoccurring guest, almost 100% geek, you could say. Perhaps we'll have to negotiate with his agents and see if we can get him. But yeah, welcome back, Bill. This is great. You got a lot of stuff to talk about today, mostly trailers, but there's a lot to dive in within those trailers, so it won't be a simple, what'd you guys think? Oh, it's pretty good. All right, moving on. We got some discussion pieces with those. So starting out with recommendations, I'd like to recommend Field of Geeks. I don't know if anyone out there has heard of us, but been around for 6 years now. Have a network of shows. Field of Geeks, which focuses on geek news, and Field of Geeks at the Movies, which we do like audio commentaries and sometimes movie discussion. And of course, we have Field of Geeks specials where it's one-off interviews with comic creators, writers, and filmmakers. So we also have the Super Unknown. It's our mythical show, if you will. We cover murder, mysteries, all sorts of fun stuff. And, of course, much, much more. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends, family, complete strangers, etc. Also, I'd like to recommend 515 Gaming. Bill, would you like to continue?
Absolutely. So we are solely on YouTube for the moment. I don't plan on doing really anything with Twitch. Kind of done with that platform, but... Mm-hmm. Got Resident Evil 8 that we are continuing for right now. It's probably going to be some Grand Theft Auto 5 and some other things thrown in there as I get time to edit. That's the big thing right now, is just trying to find time to edit and things like that. Speaking of editing, I've got a friend of mine who is working with me on some of the YouTube algorithms. So hopefully we can kind of get a little boost in that. We'll see if that works for us.
Ooh, do share in private.
Yes.
Damn YouTube.
So I know it's a lot harder for newer creators or people who don't have, the subscriber count that others do. But yeah, I mean, I think just really, I'm happy with the way the channel's going right now. I've got kind of like a close knit subscriber base, and they enjoy it, so they keep watching. So I'm happy with that for now.
They're well-produced videos you do. Like, fantastic. It's just, people need to check it out.
I'm looking into some editing software and stuff like that, too. I'm probably going to start posting the videos on Facebook Gaming as well, rather than just putting out a link for the YouTube page. But
sure.
Hopefully I can do like some short videos on YouTube or on Facebook Gaming, and that can kind of get people interested in the YouTube channel. And episode 8 of Resident Evil Village will be coming out today. I was just working on editing that before we got on the call here. So
look forward to it. Absolutely. Yeah. So check those out, everyone. We'll get into the news now. Quick topic. The Snyder Cut is officially releasing physical media on September 7th, 2021. So my birthday's the 9th, so everyone out there, a little hint there.
There we go.
Yeah, it's going to be on 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray. Also, they're doing a Zack Snyder trilogy release. It's called the Zack Snyder Justice League Trilogy. It'll include Man of Steel, BVS, the Ultimate Edition, the only edition you should see, in my opinion. The Snyder Cut, of course, itself, it's an 8-disc set. So,
wow.
Yeah, I think that would be, I might buy that instead of just the Snyder Cut, have them all, even though I have the other two. So, I don't know. Damn it. Why do they do that? I know why they do that. I'm just talking to myself, but...
So you'll spend money.
Yes, of course. It's all about marketing.
The true fans are The true fans are going to be like, oh, and they're going to go buy like the limited edition metal case,
Yes.
even though they've got the other movies.
Yeah, it looks great. The case, it's like got a clear see-through sleeve that goes over it all, and then the 8-disc set's got a bunch of cool artwork. So we'll see. I might fall for it, or I'll just buy the Snyder Cut itself. But yeah, totally worth. I'm so happy it's coming out on physical media. Just get to, because that's still the best way to see something. Streaming's great, but it's it's got its limitations unless you have great internet, right? I know they're burying fiber in our area right now, so that'll probably improve things. But yeah, in the meantime, I'd rather have physical media. I really don't want it to go away. So this is, I guess the UK already has the Snyder Cut, so we're getting it late. But hey, that's better than nothing. Yeah, I adored the Snyder Cut. I thought it was great. I think most of us here, probably all of us on the show, liked it. David, I don't know if you had a chance to see it yet. If you did, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I haven't yet to see it. I have a hard time watching movies at the moment.
Yeah.
On Thursdays, my daughter's on my Thursdays off. My daughter's got a doctor's appointment.
Oh, sure.
So I take her. And then on my Mondays off, I try and squeeze in whatever. However, my wife is home, working from home. So I run the risk of picking and choosing what I can watch and hoping I don't get side comments behind me because she's rolling her eyes or whatever.
Yeah.
So like Conjuring 3, I had to wait till she wasn't home because there's no way she's going to allow me to watch that with her in the room. The first one scared the daylights out of her. She won't go back to the rest of them.
Is she not a scary movie fan? Like, I thought she was.
Kind of, sort of. Depends on the movie. She doesn't go very far beyond reality. So, like the slashers and stuff, the serial killers, she's really into that.
Yeah.
But you get things like The Conjuring, or if you sit down to try and play Dungeons and Dragons with her, and it's a huge nope because it goes too far beyond what she'll comprehend.
Gotcha.
She's not a fan of the alien because she's one of those people that if a gray alien popped up in my front yard and started talking to her, she would doubt that it was an actual alien and think that it was somebody in a costume. So like the spaceship could be hovering and everything. There's just really good effect. She's one of those people. She's just really,
yeah. You
really have to prove it to her. So yeah, she's okay with like the serial killers and stuff because
it's physical.
We have those in life.
Yeah.
We have those people in life, but
things you can't touch, possessions. Yeah. I get that.
Once you start getting sci-fi or supernatural, then she's like, no.
Yeah, that first Conjuring was extreme. It was a well-done film, and I haven't seen the second one. I've been wanting to see the third one, and maybe towards the end you can review the third one for us. I don't know if you saw it, Bill, but we could do spoiler-free. It's not a big deal. That's leaving HBO Max soon, so I'm tempted to see it, so we'll see.
See it.
Yeah.
I saw the first one. I haven't, I guess, kept up with the series, but I'm freaked out by dolls, man. I don't like dolls at all.
Oh, so yeah.
The whole, I don't know if Annabelle's part of that.
No, you see her in a case, and she plays a bit part in the second one because the quote unquote nun demon, kind of attacks them in their home. Wow. And I don't remember if it was a vision or something that Annabelle coming out of the case, but so she plays a bit part in the second one, but you just see a glimpse of her in the third. So
don't get me wrong, I love to be scared. Like that's why I watch horror movies,
Sure.
But dolls are one of those things that I'm just like, okay, I gotta watch this with the lights on.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. That's me. That's me.
But
I got a 5-year-old daughter, so I've got dolls all over the house, so I have to be picky about which quote unquote haunted doll movies I watch as well. I don't want to watch anything that's got where I can glance over and see my daughter's version of it sitting, in the living room.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear you. Transformers fans, a new movie has been announced. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Not sure what that could be about. Wink.
Yeah.
Beast Wars.
So I'm curious if they're going to go back in time like in the cartoon.
Yeah. I mean, if they did like an adaptation of granted, there's a whole, like 2-3 seasons of the cartoon, but
Something like that.
yeah, I mean, I'd love to see it adapted into film. That was one of my favorite Transformers series when I was growing up. So
First CG series of its time, right? I mean, I guess there might have been others, but that was a prominent first CGI series, right?
yeah, that was like right when Reboot and stuff like that was coming out.
Yes.
So they were starting to first play around with CGI and
Right.
everything like that. But like they even found like the arc from like the main Transformers universe, so that'd be kind of cool to see too.
Wow.
Yeah, all the Transformers were shut down or sleeping or whatever.
Yeah,
And I like the animation style because it was kind of computer generated, but then it looked like it was drawn as well. It was a very nice combination,
Mm-hmm.
the way they did it. So I did watch some of them. So I'm curious on how they're going to do this. I would love to see, with our modern technology on CGI, quote unquote robotic versions of the animals and the insects and stuff like that.
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw parts of The Last Night, which was the last Michael Bay Transformers film, and I think didn't they hint at them in that film? If you guys have seen it, I don't know if you have. I thought there was a little hint.
I don't remember.
Like some kind of dragon transformer or something. I don't know. The movie lost me.
Oh, the
It's,
Dinobots. I think they did the Dinobots.
Oh, Dinobots. Yeah, that was it.
And
Okay.
they hyped it up, and then they was in there for like 5 minutes.
Of course.
They pulled the Darth Maul. We're gonna hype him up and then give him 12 minutes.
This guy is going to lead this new trilogy. I am so excited. What? There's 2 of them. What's going on?
Yep.
Yeah. Bumblebee was a kind of a reboot prequel film, if you will, set in the 80s, and it had the Gen 1 look of the Transformers. It was critically acclaimed. It didn't make a lot of money like the other ones did. I loved it. And this new film, I'm not sure if they're going to like erase that one, or if I think it's included by the things I've seen. Like it's set, like this new film is set in 1994, Brooklyn, New York, and I guess it also is in Peru in spots. So Optimus Prime and Bumblebee are going to be featured in it. For everyone who's seen Bumblebee, at the end, it pretty much sets up like they're all here now and they all look like we wanted them to look, and here we go. But yeah, I like Michael Bay's first Transformers film, and I like Bumblebee a lot.
Okay.
Other than that, they're very messy in my opinion. I know they made a ton of money. They were great popcorn movies. So it'll be interesting to know if they're going to go back to just being big without much, good storyline or imagination, if you will. We'll see.
If they keep it along the same vein of Bumblebee, where like they're actually, accurate depictions of them.
Yeah.
Where they're not just, cobbled together mesh of metal and scraps.
Yes.
Then I think it'll be good, but.
Yeah,
I
hope they're taking notes from that, because I think that was great. And I know it didn't make a ton, and it could have been, a busy summer with a lot of films. If it came out in the summer, I can't remember. But I think Last Night probably exhausted a lot of people, a lot of fans of the film series.
I mean, they tried to kind of like reboot and retcon a lot of stuff with that.
Yeah.
And it just didn't really work.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. It was just
right.
By that point, I was just exhausted with the series. I was like, okay, let's just move on.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I still, like I said, I like that first one a lot, and then Bumblebee was like a return to what that first one kind of set up in a way, and then it had a nice, cool setting in the 80s. I like that, and it just was directed beautifully, and it looked great. Characters look great, so we'll see what the look of this film is going to be. But the characters, I guess, to be featured are the Predacons, the Maximals, the Terracons. Scourge will be the bad guy, the main dude, main villain, and you'll have Nightbird, Air Razor, and Rhino. I'm bummed after Bumblebee. They're talking about rebooting again, and I hope that this isn't a reboot. They started filming on June 7th, and it will open on June 24th, 2022.
Yeah, I've noticed that quite a few movies got pushed back to next year.
But luckily, we're still getting quite a few this year, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, they were done a year ago, so that's why. But but hey, I'll still take them. I think Black Widow will be my. I keep saying this every show. It feels like Black Widow. I think will be my first movie theater experience since before the pandemic happened. So I'm pretty
I
excited
think
about
it's going to
that.
be mine as well.
So The Flash is currently filming in England, and last week there was set photos that were shown to the world. What'd you guys think about what you saw?
I'm pretty excited. Just more than anything to see Michael Keaton be back in it. Michael Keaton looks really good for playing an older Bruce Wayne. The Supergirl outfit looks great. I don't think it's like over the top comic booky. It's it's pretty more streamlined and looks pretty cool. So
Yeah, the new Supergirl looks great, played by Sasha Cowley. I think that's how you say her name. She got the Henry Cavill's Superman symbol. Looks great. I'm glad they're honoring that look. Yeah, it makes me feel like it's still connected, so that's great. I mean, all the casting Snyder did is pretty much connected. The rumor is that she's not the Kara Danvers Supergirl. She's actually Laura Lane Kent, that I guess was birthed out of the Injustice game and the comics they had. It would explain how she looks different, and I guess that's the costume she had in that game. So I'm super excited about it. I think it looks great. I know a lot of people have kind of criticized it. I don't see any problem, and a lot of people are complaining that the cape's not there, but they CG in the capes anymore, so that's probably just what it's going to be, I'm guessing. And if not, it's fine too. They'll anything weird about the uniform they'll tweak, in post. So yeah, it looks great.
I mean, you gotta take the set photos with a grain of salt.
Of course,
I mean, they did the same thing with Crossbones in
yes,
Civil War. He didn't look like anything really special when the set photos came out, and then when the movie came out, he was like, "Oh wow, that's cool." I think it's gonna look cool with Michael Keaton being Batman again, and
yeah,
I still think it'd be cool to have him play Bruce Wayne in a Batman Beyond live action movie. I think that would be cool.
Well, there's rumors.
Actually,
there's rumors he might be having like a multi-picture deal, maybe.
I take that with a grain of salt.
I do too. Hey, I'm happy to get what we're getting
since like 2000, but
yeah. I'm happy to get what we're getting. So this I never imagined this would happen. Him returning. Yeah, he looks great. He's rocking the Silver Fox hairdo. Great wig. I like it.
Yeah.
New car looks great. I don't know if you've seen the car, but it's not the Batmobile. It's just the car Bruce Wayne drives. It's like a Mercedes Maybach 6, I guess. It's a concept car. It looks really badass. It's pretty freaking cool. And I just couldn't help when I read that it was a concept car. It just makes me want to quickly bitch about the new Ford Broncos, how the concept looked amazing. And now they look they look like shit to me. I don't know. I don't know if you've seen them, but man, it doesn't look like a Bronco. It's not big. It's a little small looking thing. I hate how concepts are so great, and then I get though why they change them, because it's like, well, it costs a lot of money. But again, I think you would sell a lot more if they look like the damn concept. So that's my quick.
Well, they did a lot of concept cars for Tony Stark too, like all the Audi electrical cars and stuff like that. I don't think those were like market ready. They were just kind of
there's so much probably to
thrown together. Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, that's great though.
I think this looks good. It gets me excited to see a DC movie in the theaters again.
Yeah, and it looks like it's gonna be colorful. And the first image they teased, I think it was before the Supergirl symbol image, was the bat symbol from Batman Returns. It's got some blood on it. It's kind of a nod to the comedian's pin from Watchmen.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder if that's gonna have anything to do with the story. The rumor is this is like an alternate timeline, or they're in the future. Like, it's hard to say, how this all culminates, but it looks really cool. Like, our old Batman fans, I think, are going to be really psyched to see Keaton back. I love Keaton, and he still looks great too. I think he might be pushing 70, but he looks great. When you have that much money, you can afford good trainers and stuff, unless it's just good genes. But
And I
Yeah.
think he was trying to stay in shape too, in case they did a Sinister Six kind of thing for
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's what they're leading towards.
Yeah.
Right.
This Supergirl looks a lot like the new 52 Superman without the underwear.
Yeah.
It looks, which I think what they were going for was his suit is semi armor,
Mhm.
like a light armor.
Yeah.
Because the abs and stuff.
Well, yeah, because no one predicted. I don't remember if his family knew that when they sent him to Earth, he was going to gain his abilities.
Hmm.
So I think the Kryptonian the suit was meant for somewhat armor,
Right.
which we've seen it get destroyed. So in various fights throughout the movies and so on and so forth. So I mean, but I think this is something similar. This just looks a lot like his original outfit. I'm sure they're going to tweak it with CGI
Hmm.
and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, it
However,
looks,
she does look good.
yeah. Yeah. I think it looks great. Also, there's like a rumor before. I mean, it's not official. She's Laura Lane Kent. But when people are thinking if she's Kara Danvers, how they could introduce her is when Clark goes to the Kryptonian pod, if you will. I think that's how you say it in the Man of Steel. There's a bunch of other chambers where they sleep in, hibernate, whatever, for their travels. And there was some open already when Clark was walking through. And there's some other suits. So a lot of people are like, hey, maybe Kara came out of that. And she's been on Earth for a long time, if that's who this version of Supergirl is. But I think it makes good sense to use the Laura Lane Kent just because of the looks. And, you already have Supergirl on WB right now. So there could be a lot of confusion with some people. Also, you do have the Flash. So I guess you could kind of rule that out too. Quick nod to Superman and Lois. I bring this up every time like I'm paid by them. I'm not, I swear. It's getting really, really good. Like, there's another cliffhanger for a hiatus they're having, but man, it's so good. Like, you will not be disappointed. It does not feel like a CW show, unless season 2 they totally destroy it. But
It doesn't. I was really impressed by it. I went ahead and
great,
got the CW app and just kind of binge watched it throughout the week, and
yeah,
I was really impressed with it.
me
Like,
too.
It kind of brought me back to like the feeling I had when Smallville was in its first season.
Right?
I was like really excited by it, and it wasn't hokey or stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
The suit looks great. They all look great. It's just, and I love the concept about them having kids and exploring the whole teenage years with them, and not everything's hunky dory, and they move them back to Smallville. Like, all that stuff's really cool. And this latest episode, I won't give too much away, but it's really cool. It kind of retells some things we were hinted at. It's really neat, and I just hope it has a good finale. And going forward, I hope they don't have too many execs try to take control and he needs a team now or something. You know how they did it with the other shows.
yeah,
But at least we'll have a solid first season that you can. To me, like looking back at Heroes, for instance, if I ever buy a box set, it's going to be the first season only of Heroes, because that I thought was perfect. And then when they went on from there, it just got out of control.
I think I got into second season. I enjoyed it. I think after that, I don't remember where I left off in Heroes.
Yeah.
I did like I think when they finally started explaining it, like everybody was genetically manipulated, and it all just kicked in with that solar eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
That I think that's when I gave up. However, that first season, that first season I think was the absolute best.
I do too. Yeah, and I probably need to pick that up on Blu-ray or 4K if I get a player someday. But yeah, that could just have stopped right there, and it would have been fine. Like, you could have just made up your own mind where the characters went. But there was aspects of the other seasons that were interesting. It just never could recapture that first season. I think they just had a full idea of what they wanted. Right? It's just like when anyone makes a movie, right, that's successful, they pretty much put everything into it they could, and to sequelize that is very hard. To recapture that without making something different entirely. That's the curse, I guess, of success. Unless you have a whole trilogy planned out, that's probably the only way you can be successful. But then after that trilogy, it's like the studio screams they want more, like Matrix 4, for instance. It's like, where do you go? Like, and that's another franchise. I think the first one is just where we should have stopped. I think that was just perfect. You know, make up your own mind where they go. I will add the Animatrix was good too.
The Animatrix was awesome. It gave you kind of like that backstory and
Yeah.
everything like that too. And then I don't know. I think the only good thing that came out of the second Matrix was the spin-off video game they did that actually showed you like Ghost and Niobe, like what they were doing while everybody else was doing their thing.
Yeah, they showed you more of the characters than the damn movie did, which I understand. They have
kind of made you actually care about those characters, whereas before they were just background.
Yeah, because that was like a big deal. Like Jada Pinkett Smith's in this film, and you didn't really see much of her character. You know, she did a few flips, but that was about it. And it's like, okay, all right, I guess that's it. But yeah, they were prominently featured in that game, if I remember correctly, right?
I got my T-shirt.
Yeah, you could play as you could play as either or, but they like each had their own little storyline and interactions with the Oracle and stuff like that. So
right.
It was pretty cool to see. But
I don't remember much of the second movie.
Yeah.
To be honest, I do like I enjoyed the third one because everything came to a head. The robots attacked. They defended their home, and Agent Smith or whatever he was, you realize it was now a virus. Because let's be honest, that's what he was. He was a virus, and whatnot, and all that. Everything came to a head. So I remember the third one, and I really enjoyed the first one because that was really different. The whole bending yourself to avoid the bullets, and that was they really stepped outside the box and did really well when they did the first one.
Yeah.
But the second one's just not that memorable to me.
Yeah,
it's not. I think like there were some cool parts to it, and if you could take out all the boring crap, like the talk with the architect and all that stuff, like. I think it would be, it'd probably be like a 30-minute movie, but it'd still be better than what we got.
I wonder if I would understand it more now watching it, the architect scene, because I remember that took me out, but I was young too, and I was like, I want the action.
Yeah.
Does it hold up? Because I know a lot of people have love for the sequels, what they set up. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't think in parts the second and third one hold up, but I'm kind of waiting to see what they do with the fourth one. And
I don't have hope.
Where do you go from here, kind of thing?
Yeah, I just don't have. I'm like, what are we gonna do, guys? Like, I don't know. And the filmmakers are just in a different place too. They haven't really created anything big since then, and we'll see. I guess it's just one of the oh gosh, how do you say their name? Wachowskis.
Wachowski.
Yeah, it's just one of them now. I don't think they both returned. I could be wrong, but
yeah, I think it's just Lana Wachowski that's doing the fourth one.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just don't see it. But maybe that first trailer will probably drop, and I'll be like, oh man, I'm there. But I doubt I will be that excited. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. Keanu Reeves looks like John Wick all the time now, so it's like I think he did shave everything off for this film eventually. But there's set photos of him, and that's just a problem. Like I liked Bill and Ted. At least he shaved his beard. It's like change it up, man. Like. You look like the same damn character every movie.
Well, that's the problem with some people, with some actors, is they get to a very memorable character like John Wick. It doesn't matter what they did before, and then everything after that's all you're seeing.
Yeah.
Some people that's just what I'm saying.
Unless they aggressively change their look, like Bruce Willis, sadly, is like he phones it in my opinion, as well. But he looks like the same character now in every film, unless like you get a Looper where he grows his hair back a little bit and has a little beard or something. He looks different, and it looks like he's trying, he just gets, that's acting's all about. They had the best wigs and stuff, like just change up the character, man. I mean, hell, hats off to Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that film, Looper. Damn, he had a prosthetic nose to look like Bruce Willis, and man, it just really changed his whole look, but God, I loved it. I thought that was a great thing to do. Make it more believable, like, hey, that could be young Bruce Willis, I guess. Never would have imagined him playing that, but he pulled it off. So speaking of a plan for a trilogy, if you will, our first trailer to talk about, Halloween Kills, is actually the second film in the David Gordon Green / Danny McBride trilogy concept. They originally wanted to film all their Halloweens back to back, but I think they wanted to see if the first one was really a big hit with people before they continued, and so they filmed Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends back to back. So yeah, this second, it was trailer number 2 of Halloween Kills released days ago.
I like how they're just continuing right off of where the previous one
Hmm.
ended. You know,
Yeah.
like the whole scene of them like hiding around the corner and be like, "No, let it burn," and they show like firefighters going in there, and
That was intense, right? Like a whole group
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
firemen and him. And well, actually, before that, the firemen inside, one's like gets pulled down, and then all these firemen have all this like tech. They have axes and chainsaws, and Michael Myers is just picking them off one by one. It's like, wow, because usually in Halloween it's like one-on-one with Michael Myers, right? Or you got a couple people, but like to
Yeah,
have a whole
he's-
team of firemen, like I felt like, hey, what's up, Michael? We're gonna kick your ass.
this one looks like he's very much like taking on the entire town kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
I like
everyone's
it.
just finally like, okay, we're done with you. We're gonna
Yeah, you got a mob.
get the neighborhood watch together with pitchforks and torches, and we're gonna take you down, kind of thing.
Yeah, it just makes you feel confident. Like we're gonna kick his ass. But looking at the firemen fight, and no,
But then, like every
Yeah.
scene they show after that, where they're like all rallying together, he's just picking them off left and right. So it's kind of, I mean,
And also-
kudos to Jamie Lee Curtis for coming back for this because she looks amazing.
yeah,
And that's a slasher's big thing is you pick people. You don't normally fight people in groups. You separate them because it's
Right.
easier to kill a person. It's easier for us, Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers, to kill a guy one-on-one, especially when you sneak up
Yeah.
on him. I
right.
will say that this does give me kind of a reminder of Halloween 2, that the original that took place right after the first one,
Yep.
within seconds. So that I get that feel as well. I also love the fact that in one scene you've seen the three guys on the merry-go-round and they're wearing the mask from Season of the Witch,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I think that was a nice shout out. I think that was the last movie that John Carpenter had anything to do with. Like the last one, I got excited. Like I got chilled. I was like, oh, this is going to, as long as they ended here, this will bring such honor to the name, honor back to the name of Halloween
Hmm.
and John Carpenter. And it's going, I'm just super excited to see it.
For sure.
With everything past Season of the Witch, with H2, I mean, I watched H2O, but I didn't watch bits and pieces of the rest of them. And I was always like, eh. But when
Hmm.
this last one that came out a couple years ago, and then this one, I'm like, yeah, I have to see this, and I am going to go see it in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
In
looks...
fact, I'm rallying up a couple of my buddies and be like, we're going, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, what was interesting about 2018's Halloween is, it's basically a second attempt at H2O because they did like the same concept almost in H2O. You pick up with Laurie again years later. It's different, of course, but yeah, it's interesting how they kind of remade H2O or the Return of Laurie, let's say, and then like you said, this Halloween Kills. They're in the hospital, and it's right after the first one, so it's really reminiscent of the first Halloween 2 and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, because I think that was pretty much same setup, if I remember correctly. I never did actually see the
Kinda,
Rob Zombie ones. I kind of tuned those out. I don't think he's a great filmmaker, but that's just me.
He's hit or miss.
Yeah.
He's hit or miss.
He is. He's done some good stuff. But
Yeah.
Like the Three from Hell, or the House of a Thousand Corpses, Three from Hell, and Devil's Rejects. I absolutely love those movies,
Hmm.
and I think part of that is the casting as well.
Hmm.
But I have yet to watch it. I didn't hear anything good about 31, which is a semi prequel. It kind of gives you the idea of how Sherry Moon goes insane, and where you get the cousin or whatever from Three from Hell,
Hmm.
who shows up to help them. They're hit or miss. I'm really, really super happy that he dropped the Blob, because that's my personal favorite. The original was my personal favorite.
Yeah, from the 50s.
From 58.
Mhm.
Yeah, from the 50s. And so when I heard that he wanted to remake it, I was like, oh no. But
get ready, he's doing the Munsters.
well, I don't know if you do make. I don't know if you can turn the Munsters into a horror movie.
They tried. Did you ever see NBC did one years back? Jerry O'Connell, I think, played Herman, and it was very dark take on it, and it didn't pick up. It was just a pilot movie, but from what I saw, it was very interesting. I just with Rob Zombie, I just let's say I think he's good on his own properties, but when it just seems Halloween should have just been some new character. It's just like he totally dissected it and changed it. And I heard the second one's just a trip. It's just like weird.
I mean,
he dove into the psychological side of it, which set John Carpenter off because he wasn't allowed to.
Oh, sure.
John Carpenter said, "I don't want Michael Myers' his mentality and his psychological side described. He's just supposed to be a psychopath, hell bent on killing people.
Very simple, yeah.
And then when Rob Zombie did that, it pissed him off because Michael Myers agreed, I keep saying that. Rob Zombie agreed not to do it, to stick with the original plan. And then when he basically went against his word, he made Carpenter mad.
Yeah.
I like the psychological side of Michael Myers, how brutal and stuff it was, because that's what Zombie does. He's gore for the sake of gore, and sometimes I like that. But yeah, he's a hit and miss guy,
right?
I do like how they've balanced that out with this in 2018 and this one, how it's not over the top gore. And we still kind of keep to the feel of the original.
Yeah. The 2018 basically erased all films except the original Halloween, which was 1978, and then Halloween H2O itself back in '98. They ignored everything but 1 and 2. They kept that storyline about Laurie's Michael's sister, which the 2018 they had a lot of Easter eggs in it. They had, that part. I think it was just like a rumor around town. It was just a little joke, a nod. Shamrock Halloween masks were seen in that movie. So it makes me wonder if these kids in this new film, if that's them or somebody else. Because he kind of, when they show these kids, they talk about Michael's past and going to his childhood home. It makes me wonder, is this from the past, these people and these kids in these masks, or are these the kids we saw in 2018's version? So yeah, it's just, there's so much to process. Like, yeah, when I see that, I'm like, oh yeah, definitely Season of the Witch, like, could some of these Easter eggs actually become more than Easter eggs? Like, are they actually going to play with it a little bit? I don't know. I mean, that's the other thing. Are they going to acknowledge Michael as supernatural? Because it's a little bit more than him just being lucky at this point,
Yeah, I don't think they really need to dive into the supernatural stuff too much. I mean, they tried doing that with Jason Voorhees, and that was horrible.
Well, yeah, and all the Halloween films after 3, they did too with Michael. Like, they really got into like a cult dude, basically made him a serial killer.
To me, like, the Halloween series is a lot like Hellraiser. It's like 1, 2, and 3 are good, and after that, you don't need to keep watching.
Yeah, right.
Or at least that's how I felt about the series up until they did this, continuation of it, and I think it's been, going great. I'm excited for this one. This is one I'll actually go see in the theaters instead of just waiting for it.
Yeah, it looks like an event, that's for sure.
Streaming or whatever, but yeah,
absolutely,
looks good.
Yeah, YouTube years ago had, I think it's still out there. If I find a link, I'll put in the show notes, but they have a making of all the Halloween films. I don't know if they include the zombie ones or not. This was kind of leading up to 2018's release of Halloween. So it was really cool. I got a whole history lesson, basically, and that's how I kind of know, like, about the Man in Black, which they introduced but then did away with. There's a Sheriff Barker in this Halloween Kills trailer. It reminded me of the Man in Black. And I was like, where the hell are we going with all this?
I think the Man in Black was supposed to connect a couple of the horror franchises, because I think he quote unquote made an appearance in or a character similar to him made an appearance in Jason Goes to Hell, or one of the Jason movies.
Maybe
one of the dude. Because I can't remember the actor's name, but he shows up in the black trench coat, the black hat, and tells him how to kill a Voorhees, with the knife, special knife, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I think that they were trying to semi-connect them in the same world. So if they wanted to do a versus, which would be interesting, but Voorhees is undead, so he's going to win.
I mean, maybe they'll go supernatural route after these 3 films are done with maybe different creators if they can kind of ride the reins, and go into it. Like, I remember when H2O came out, I wanted to see every Halloween before that. And 3 was like always hard to find. Like, I never was able to see it, Season of the Witch, because it didn't feature Michael Myers. But I liked the uniqueness of the idea I think Carpenter had, like, just to do every Halloween film, you do a different story. It's not all Michael Myers, and I like that concept. And of course, it didn't work, but I think Halloween 3's, I mean, it has developed a cult following, and I know a lot of people do like it a lot. And it's not as bad, I guess, as a lot of people have said it was. I mean, really, it had a lot of big ideas in it, so it's definitely something they could explore. Like, after these 3 Halloween films, that would be a way to continue the franchise, move away from Michael Myers, which what they tried to do before, but do it this time for real. Like, just focus on good, compelling stories, and then you can just maybe you have a trilogy of these characters, and so on and so on. But yeah, after these Michael Myers films, you got to give that character a rest, in my opinion. But I was really surprised when they announced they were making 3 of these. But it looks great. I mean, there's just so much to unpack. When I saw those masks, I was like, oh my God, Season of the Witch, and I think a lot of that's playful, like, hey, you remember this, right? It might not be anything of meaning in these films, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know. They could, we have a huge cast and a lot of people coming back. Of course, you got Laurie Strode, her daughter Karen, her granddaughter Allison, Dr. Loomis's nurse, Marion Chambers, she's back. She was actually killed off in Halloween H2O. These Halloween films should almost have a multiverse, if you will. You have the Rob Zombie films, and you have the the H2O and the films before that, and then these films. It seems like, anyway. It's unique to have these characters come back when they already had their last curtain call, if you will. And then you have Lindsay and Tommy, who were the kids Laurie babysat for in '78's Halloween, and then the Hatfield sheriff, Lee Brackett, whose daughter was, I think, the first victim of Michael Myers in '78 as well, all coming back. So it's really, which I think they're featured in that town mob. But I do like that idea. Like, I don't think we've ever been there before with these films. Like, a whole crowd of people, whole towns, like, fed up. And it makes me feel like we have a chance to beat this asshole, instead of it, like, just being 2-3 people. Like, well, we'll see if we can take it on or not. But yeah, man, it looks good. And it is a lot more gory than the original Halloween. What do you guys prefer with your gore? Like, do you like it more in your head, like the first Halloween, or seeing it?
I think if it's done right and you don't just dump a bucket of blood on the screen just because.
Yeah.
I think that's sometimes, like, the gore that you don't see, is what makes it more scary, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't need to be like Tarantino, where somebody gets a friggin' paper cut and it squirts halfway across the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah, you get your hand cut off and you lose 12 gallons of blood, but you're still fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Like, grounded a little bit in reality. I mean, obviously, if somebody gets their head chopped off, they're not going to be walking around, but
right. Yeah.
Don't make, like, the final girl, like, lose, her freaking leg or something, and then just like, oh no, I'm fine. Walk it off.
Just put it back on.
Yeah.
Duct tape.
I guess it depends on the movie I'm watching.
Yeah.
If it's really unbelievable and you're going to have a fountain of blood, then fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I consider those movies kind of cheesy to begin with. However, if you like for slashers and stuff, I like a nice balance, like more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
If you stab somebody in the chest and pull the blade out, you're not going to get a gallon of blood leaking out.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to, the stain on the shirt's going to be minimal because all that blood is running into the cavity.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the blood you don't see it works as well. I would, something a little bit more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
You can still, I mean, it is fantasy, but you don't have to go you don't have to go crazy. So,
right.
Get a little bit of blood, but not like Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, yeah, that looks great. That's out October 15th. Perfect month for a Halloween film. Maybe I'll go see it. I've seen the first one, so we'll see. But moving on, Shang-Chi, another trailer has released. I got to say, I'm more excited about this film now than I was from the first trailer. I don't know much about the character, to be fair, but that first trailer just didn't excite me much.
So my understanding of the character, this is what I got with the latest comics that they rebooted the series. And I think originally he had conquered, this family had conquered part of China or something, but there are 5 clans or something like that. The clan of the fist, the clan of the hammer, the clan of the dagger, clan of the sword, and clan of the staff. And this guy, originally his children ran these clans of ninjas who specialized in these weapons. And there was a great war and he lost some of his kids, so he trained others. And Shang-Chi was a member, it was supposed to be head of clan of the fist.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, nope, I don't want any part of your world domination bullshit. I'm done. And went to America. And in the comics, his father or adopted father passes away, and this candle will burn, will set afire the next head of all the clans.
Mm-hmm.
And it lands in the clan of the fist. This is in the comic, clan of the fist. Well, his adopted sister, who he was once super close to until his father separated them, who's head of the House of Hammer, is out to kill him because she wants to be head of the houses. She wants to be the next ruler of the dynasty.
Gotcha.
And they're also, I guess, right now they're supposed to be in secret, but she's got plans of stepping out of the secret, and kind of taking over everything. That was in the comics.
Right.
I don't know how they're going to do this, but I know in the comics, Shang-Chi and Iron Fist have thrown down and came to a draw.
Wow.
Like he matches Danny pound for pound. He matches him in technique, and is able to keep from being hit with the dragon fist.
Mm-hmm.
So or the Iron Fist. So he's a very formidable opponent.
Yes.
So this to me kind of looks like, I'm not quite sure where it's going. To me, it looks more like kind of Marvel's version of a martial arts movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it does look good.
Yeah.
And the fact that you get to see the Abomination and Wu in an arena.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they explain why these two are standing in an arena fighting.
Yeah, same.
Last I heard of, why is Abomination not locked up in some high security vibranium cell?
Yes. I can't remember if it was a Marvel one-shot or a comic, but they did explain what happened to Abomination. I think he was held at S.H.I.E.L.D. Yes, I think they were utilizing the Destroyer's weaponry, which they did show in the Avengers. Coulson had.
Yeah.
I think they were using that to as a deterrent for him. But I'm just so happy to see him again because, we haven't seen that character since 2008, The Incredible Hulk. And, that was really awesome to see him and Wong fighting. And, I'm sure they'll explain it. I'm not sure where this takes place with the timeline currently, is it before Infinity War Endgame or after? Perhaps it's out there and I just didn't find it. But in this film, looks like Shang-Chi's father is the Mandarin, which they were originally going to put in the first Iron Man. They end up using it in Iron Man 3, which is controversial because they made it like a fictional, or not fictional. Yeah. They made it a comedic take. He was a fake, basically. He was all talk. And then a Marvel one-shot, All Hail the King, back in 2014, corrected that basically and made it so that there actually is a Mandarin and he is to be feared, just like everyone came to know him. So Ben Kingsley was in that one shot, and it was really well done, I thought, and actually featured Sam Rockwell's Justin Hammer, which is a character they should bring back. I hope they do. I know they have Armor Wars coming up on Disney Plus. I don't think it started filming yet, but I think Don Cheadle will lead that. and I'm guessing Hammer's got something to do with it. Just given the caliber of Rockwell's acting, they should bring him back, and I'm happy that they're bringing back the Abomination. That's just something we haven't seen for a very long time, and it further connects the Incredible Hulk to the MCU.
So I'm curious if they're borrowing the rights to the Abomination like they have the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Did they acquire some of this character with one of their purchases? Like, because Kang, who is a Avengers villain, his rights were tied up with the X-Men.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of the stuff out in space.
Mm-hmm.
So when Disney bought up Fox, and they got the X-Men, they got the Starjammers, they got all that crap in space, they picked up Kang.
Yeah.
So the question is my question is that are they borrowing Abomination?
Well,
or is he, or do they now have his rights? Because they're slowly trying to get the Hulk back as well next. I think they're working on the Hulk next.
The deal is they're doing She-Hulk right now, but the Hulk itself, the deal is Universal has distribution rights for a Hulk standalone film, so Marvel can't distribute or Disney can't distribute it. So they can use. I think they've obviously used the Hulk. But I don't think they can be a big featured character because that would be like their own film. And so Universal would have the rights to that. So I think, they're able to use the Abomination because this looks like it's just a scene. I'm not sure. I doubt Abomination has a lot to do with the film. Could just be a quick scene, all we know. But I think they're able to use whatever characters they want. They've used General Ross, for instance, in these MCU films. So they can. I think they can borrow all the characters they want. They just can't feature that, make them the main feature.
Okay.
Then Universal has to take over. So who knows when the hell they'll have the rights to that back.
Well, but, and this might be just to remind you of the Hulk to go back.
I think so.
And Wong is just their way of tying in Doctor Strange.
Right. Yep. Which is great because I like that character, and he's going to be in the second Doctor Strange, I'm sure. He was in Infinity War and Endgame as well. Great actor. We got a big ass sea dragon, which is the Great Protector. A lot of people thought it was Fing Fang Foom, I guess. But it was debunked by the Star. So unless it's just a straight out lie, but that dragon was badass. Like this second trailer really did it for me. Like this looked big. The first one just felt kind of more like because I thought Shang-Chi was going to be like a Disney Plus show. I didn't know it was going to be a movie. And that first trailer just didn't feel like a movie to me, Just kind of felt a little weak. But this second one, man, they really were like, okay, if you doubted us, here we go. Let's see if you doubt us now. But I like how they did the 10 rings. They're arm bracelets now. They're not, actual rings on your finger. I thought that was really unique. Them in action looked really cool. I'm not familiar with the Mandarin too much.
And he's supposed to be magical.
Yeah.
He's from what I understand, he's an Iron Man villain, and he challenges Iron Man, and he was supposed to challenge Tony Stark because Tony's all about technology.
Yes.
It doesn't believe in magic, and the Mandarin was all about magic. And so that's how he challenged Tony to up his game. So, and I think that they did, in 3, they did the Mandarin the way they did. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think they had pulled magic into the Marvel Universe yet.
Yeah.
So they hadn't quite figured out how they were going to do it.
Yes.
Now that we have Strange and Wanda, and the Scarlet Witch and whatnot, I think that they're going to have a better understanding on how they can use the Mandarin.
Yes.
Who commands the elements and everything else. So this will be right. Yeah. This will be interesting how they use him. And originally he had 10 rings, and the rings represented a different element. And magic source, I think, is what they were. So I am glad that they're actually taking which once was a really badass villain, and after they made him a joke, really use him.
Right. Well, when you were saying earlier about from the comics, he moves away and resists joining or leading the clan, if you will. They do hint at that in this trailer where he goes to America, befriends some people. I think he maybe changed his name. But his father comes calling and wants him to join him. I do like that line, him and his father, he's with his father, and he's like, "Don't challenge me, boy," or something like that. Like, it really looked menacing. You know, this wasn't just going to be like, you know, a funny time or anything. This is serious stuff, and his father means business. So, it would be funny if we see
his father was.
Yeah,
his father was a very ruthless man.
Yes, and they pulled that off here, I think, pretty well. So I wonder if we'll get a Ben Kingsley cameo. Maybe he's because that was what happened in All Hail the King. He was taken out of prison. Basically, like the Mandarin wanted to see him. Like, how dare he impersonate him? All that. So it'd be funny to see what he's up to if they go that route. Who knows?
Well, in the comics, there's a lot of spiritual stuff, ghosts and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, because he gets poisoned by some undead thing. Because two members of his family, who lead the House of the Staff and House of the Dagger, want to see him succeed and become head of the clans. But he gets poisoned or something, so he's talking to the dead. He sees them, so I'm wondering if they're going to tie this into the movies as well.
Oh yeah,
some undead stuff.
That'd be cool.
Which would be like some ghosts. So that
Black
might
Panther
be
did that kind of. So yeah, it's not totally far fetched. I like that. Yeah. Bill, you for this film?
I'm excited to see it. I never really followed, Shang-Chi or the Mandarin or
I didn't either.
All that growing up. But yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds me of like kind of a classic, kung fu kind of movie.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Abomination in it, and kind of. I was probably one of the few people that actually liked Incredible Hulk.
I did too. I did too.
If you took Edward Norton out of it, I actually liked it.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes me excited to see like what this is, because it looks like this is going to tie in to Doctor Strange a little bit.
Right.
And that makes me wonder if like Everett Ross, if we're going to get Red Hulk.
That'd be cool.
Or whatever. That'd be kind of cool to see too.
Because Ross is featured in Black Widow.
I would still like to see it. Yeah. And I would still like to see like a standalone Hulk story. We never really got that.
Yes.
We got kind of like his story fleshed out in, different vehicles, I guess.
But, right. Yeah, I mean, it's just because, when Marvel Studios started, they had a deal with Paramount and Universal. I think the Universal deal was already set in place because of the, was it 2003 Hulk? Eric Bana starred. So I think that was already set in stone, but the studio was able to collaborate with Universal and call the shots, I think, for most part. But yeah, you had that interesting time where, you had Paramount and Universal distributing these films. And then when Disney bought it all up, I think that's how we lost our chance for another Hulk film. And also, I don't think it did great at the box office too, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think it, compared to like Iron Man and Captain America, I don't think it did great.
Right, and I think it came out after Iron Man. Same year. Yeah.
See, and I wasn't a fan of that one because I don't like the thought of Hulk getting bigger as he gets angrier.
The original Hulk you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, with Eric Bana or whatever his name was.
Yes,
I didn't like that one.
That was trippy. Yeah. Yes, that was.
I did like, and I don't like what they did with Absorbing Man.
Yeah,
that's not his. He doesn't. Yeah, that's not how he works.
That movie's a mess.
Yeah. However, I did like the Edward Norton version.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I liked it too. I didn't. After seeing Mark Ruffalo play Bruce Banner, I kind of preferred him over Edward Norton, but. Yeah. This does give me hope that like maybe we'll get a movie with the leader in it, because they teased that at the end of Incredible Hulk, and the leader's just an amazing villain in Marvel. So it makes me excited to like, we're not just going to have one big bad that everybody faces. Maybe we're going to have just like a bunch of villains come together. You know, I'm still excited to see what they're going to do with that. But I know Kang's kind of like on the docket to be the next big bad. But if you're going to introduce him, you're going to have like. I think we're a ways away from that. Like, you're going to have the Fantastic Four involved, potentially like Galactus, Silver Surfer. We'll kind of see, I guess.
They'd be right to build it up like they did Thanos, not just do it quickly. Just bits here and there, and
He's-
then you have the big intro.
Yeah, show like a scene of him at the end of Doctor Strange, kind of like watching from the shadows,
Right.
And not really explain who he is yet.
Right.
You know, just kind of let him build up, kind of like like you said, what they did with Thanos.
And I'm happy with, if Abomination is just in a scene, right? I'm happy when they sprinkle characters like this, because it's like there's all these
Yeah.
possibilities. Like, we could revisit this, or it could just be there, but at least they're out there in the universe and they matter. They
Yeah.
accept them. Yeah.
It
He's
was kind of like
he's
what
like
they
one of
did.
4 villains they didn't kill.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing that I guess pissed me off the most about the MCU, like the early phases, is like all the great villains, they killed them off.
Oh, right.
you
Yeah.
know?
Or did very little, like Crossbones. They did very little with him. You could have done so much
Oh.
more with him.
Yeah.
Crossbones is like, and that's the thing that, I guess kind of confused me too, because now they have U.S. Agent in
Mhm.
there, and I mean he's fought with Crossbones too. I mean, I could have cared less about Batroc the Leaper. Like, he's very very much a D-list villain, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It gives me hope for the future of the MCU though.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
hell, you had that great fight scene in the first Falcon and Winter Soldier with him. That was awesome. I love that helicopter,
Yeah.
or was it jets? I can't remember. That was awesome. That was a way to introduce a show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're
Oh,
saying. Yeah, Crossbones. I loved where they took him, and at least the actor got to come back in Endgame. But still,
Yeah.
maybe he's just very badly burnt, kind of like Will Ferrell in Austin Powers, and he'll be back.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the whole like turning him into a suicide bomber thing was kind of dumb, but
Yeah.
Right.
um,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like maybe like you said, Abomination's just kind of there in the background. Like they did that a lot with. I know it's totally separate companies and stuff, but like you look at the 1990s X-Men animated series,
Mhm, yeah.
there was a lot of times where they just had like random people in the background, like Deadpool and Mystique and Omega Red and stuff like that, before they even had like a story about them. So I mean, it just kind of maybe it's just there to be there, and
Mhm.
it's gonna be like, okay, that was cool. Moving on.
Right. Right.
I mean, Kevin Feige, he loves his Easter eggs.
Oh, of
They never
course,
go
yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah, I mean that's fine with me as long as we get to see him again. That's cool. That just tells me, hey, he's still around, and I don't know if they got Tim Roth to voice him at all. Like
See,
I doubt it, but
that's what I'm hoping.
we'll
I
see.
mean, maybe they found a way to kind of like cure him so he can. But I don't think he ever like was able to transform back into.
No, yeah, I think that's the
Emil
character.
Blonsky.
He's just too far gone.
I think he's just
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Abomination's a good villain too. I mean, especially if they're gonna have the Hulk show back up at some point.
They really need to try to do a Hulk solo film. Maybe it could be Ruffalo's swan song, if you will. We just need it. And if they can make a deal with Sony, they can make a deal with Universal. Of course, Universal could still probably release the film just like Sony does, but it's got the MCU banner. So I don't know. I think it's kind of just MCU Disney just being dicks about it. They don't want Universal involved, and so they're just like, yeah, we'll just wait till we have the rights back. I mean, they're doing She-Hulk, like I said. So I don't know. I mean, they need just a Hulk-centered film. Just do it.
I'd like to see that because they could introduce so many neat villains.
Yeah.
You could also, you could also take Betty Ross and transform her.
Yeah.
At one point, she was a Red Hulk,
Ooh,
Red She-Hulk, which she was lethal.
that would be a way to bring that
and
movie.
then-
Yeah, do that.
And then she also transformed into the Harpy, which was once again like her talons could pierce the Hulk's flesh.
Mhm.
You could bring in the Red Hulk. You could bring in Doc Samson,
Yeah.
who's not he's not big and green, but because of gamma radiation, his size has increased.
Yes.
You could bring in Rick Jones, who was a fun abomination or A-bomb. Oh my God! And I cannot. In Hulk and this Agents of Smash, Seth Green? He did the voice of A-bomb, and I would love to see him in a movie as A-bomb.
That would be cool.
Because Rick Jones is a little guy,
Yeah.
so that would be neat as well. But you can bring in so many, and then the leader, read the current Immortal Hulks. The leader is downright scary.
Yeah.
Whenever the Hulk dies, or any gamma radiated character dies, they go to a different version of hell that has a green door, and that's how they cross back over. They go through the door and come back, but they don't remember going there. The leader goes there and doesn't leave. He absorbs the Hulk's father, taking those memories. At one point, he enters the Hulk's mind and starts taking away the Hulk's different versions and kills the Devil Hulk. And he eventually merges with. He takes over Doc Samson's body and Rick Jones. He actually forces Doc Samson into the Sasquatch, which is an Alpha Flight character. But at one point he reduced the Hulk to a thinner, weaker version of him and baby version of himself. But he has absorbed Bruce Banner mentally. He's absorbed Bruce Banner, and he's absorbed these different versions of the Hulk and gotten super strong because he wants to absorb the one below all who rules the green hell.
Right.
So he can have ultimate power. He's like, and to see him in the comics, he is downright terrifying. Because he literally absorbs these people into him, and you can see part of him sticking out of him.
Ooh, wow. Wow.
He's got it figured. He finally gets it figured out. He is downright terrifying. So, yeah, I would absolutely love to see him come into the Marvel U and span over a couple of movies. And
That's
get
what they need to do.
The money before he's completely taken down.
Yeah. Well, maybe She-Hulk is their way in to introduce some of these characters, at least introduce them, and then you can pick up with them later. That would be smart. I don't know if She-Hulk kind of shares the same villain gallery or not, but that would be a way to bring in some of these people. Yeah, I don't know much about She-Hulk, but I hope it's successful. I know Mark Ruffalo is a part of it. Moving on, do you guys fans of Candyman?
The original, I really like it.
I have not seen the remake. I never got around to it.
Yeah, it's not out yet. The trailer just released.
Okay.
I think it's the second trailer. What were your thoughts, Bill, on that trailer?
I don't see how you can do it without Tony Todd. That's how he became such a icon in the horror genre. I'm a big sucker for the classics. You know what I mean? I'll give it a shot. Maybe
well, he actually is Candyman still.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought they got somebody totally different.
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying. But yeah, it's a spiritual sequel to the 92 film, and it will ignore the other ones. It's kind of like doing what Halloween did,
Okay.
But yeah, so it's a sequel, and he's still Candyman. If you go to IMDb, he's still listed as Candyman.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that totally shatters what I thought the movie was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a total reboot, kind of like the Friday the 13th reboot.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think they're trying to honor what came before, but kind of maybe put a little new twist on it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, if Tony Todd's involved in it, I'll give it a shot.
It looks good. Like, is everything matching up to the original from the story of Candyman?
For the most part.
That retelling was creepy in the trailer. The shadow puppet looking.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Jordan Peele producing, and he co-wrote this film, so he's definitely talented when it comes to scaring you.
He is, every single movie. Granted, he's done like 2 movies, but they've been amazing so far. Like Us, and, Get Out were both very good.
Right.
And they were scary without like doing the jump out and say boo type of scary.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They were just like that ever-present danger was there. So that'll be cool to see.
I've never seen Candyman. I know of it, but I never did see it. I don't. Quickly, if you guys could tell me what the hell what's with the bees?
I don't remember. I think that was just his
calling card.
Yeah.
I think so. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I
mainly remember his performance in it.
Well, the gist of it is it's an urban legend, right? And if you say his name 5 times while looking in the mirror, kind of like, was it Bloody Bloody Mary when we were kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like Bloody Mary.
He appears in the reflection
show up.
and kills you. Yeah. Yeah. So this, I guess I'm going to butcher his name. The star of this film, Yahya Abdul Mateen II. He was in Aquaman, played, oh gosh, what the hell is that character? He played in Aquaman. Dude with the red eyes.
Black Manta?
Yes, Black Manta.
Black Manta.
Yep. He was in Watchmen. He was in Baywatch, that remake they did in the movie version of Baywatch. He was in The Greatest Showman. He's a good actor, and he looks great. Like the cast looks great. Like it just they all flow very well, and it looks like he plays Anthony McCoy. And I guess in the original, from what I found, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's kidnapped by Candyman and kind of possessed a little bit. And so as an adult now, he still has a link to Candyman in some ways. And looks like he's a maybe investigative reporter or just a photographer, but he has so much interest in this Chicago neighborhood, I guess, where Candyman came from, if you will. So it's kind of like Candyman. Well, if you follow that theory about Freddy Krueger, that he never did anything to those kids and he was framed. Mm-hmm. Candyman was framed, right? Like he just was a nice guy, and then kids started lying about shit, and then parents killed him. Cops.
Whatever. No, Krueger was a pedophile.
Right. But there was a theory, I think, at one point where he was innocent. Like if he was innocent, then it just changes all the story. But with Candyman, was he innocent? Do you recall?
It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
I think he was.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of. But yeah, like the Freddy Krueger thing, like him being innocent, I think that was like in the reboot they did with Jackie Earl Haley.
Yes.
I think it was kind of like, we sent an innocent man or condemned an innocent man to die, and then they found out, like at the end, it was like, oh no, he actually was a creepy piece of shit. But, yeah, I mean, I'm excited. It's good to see something kind of new, mm-hmm. get a new treatment, you know?
Yeah.
I'm still holding out to see if somebody does like a decent like reboot of Hellraiser or something like that.
It could be coming. I mean, but, like picking up where they left off, if you will, like Halloween and Candyman. I think they could do a nice sequel, possibly.
Yeah.
There's been so many Hellraiser sequels.
Oh, the direct-to-video stuff, we can just ignore that.
Well, that's what they would do, yeah.
If you want to stop at some point and do like they did with Halloween, do a good sequel and take some of those and burn them underneath the rug, I'd be okay with that, too.
I mean, that's what they're doing with these Candyman ones. I don't know how many original... It was like 4 Candyman films, maybe? I don't recall.
So I only ever saw the original one.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm taking it the other ones aren't very good. So yeah, that's the popular thing. Just ignore they happened. But yeah, it looks great. I mean, it looks very, very scary. So it's kind of like the whole possession thing. It reminds me of Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I don't know if you remember that sequel. It's like a dude possessed by Freddy. But with this main character in Candyman 2021, it's like he's turning into him or something. He's got like that weird, his skin's like decaying or something. He gets bit by a fly or a bee, and yeah, it looks freaking trippy, man. I don't know. Like, why would anyone say that name 5 times? You know, it's like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Because because some people are just fool. I mean, I did the Bloody Mary thing as a kid.
Yeah, I think I did too.
I remember doing it and being incredibly anxious when I did it. And then it was like, oh yeah, after nothing happens, like that's what I thought.
Right.
Like I got brave after it happened, but like doing it, I remember being anxious.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't have a movie if people didn't do it. So there you go. But yeah, that'll be out August 27th, 2021. And our final trailer to talk about, The Suicide Squad. I think this is trailer 2 or 3. I'm not quite sure. Got a little bit more, of course. What are your thoughts?
Well, I guess people were talking negatively about it because of John Cena's butthole comment.
Oh, God. I thought that was hilarious.
It's like...
He looks ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's the point, though.
I-
Like a lot of these characters are just like, it is
I can't believe
ridiculous,
he's
but it
getting
looks
a
fun.
Spin-off series, though.
Yeah.
I can't
Well,
believe he's getting his own series.
I wonder if the movie has
No.
to do well first. I don't know. I do like.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
supposedly he ruined Fast 9, so I don't know.
I don't think that. I don't know. I'm sorry. The Fast and the Furious movies. I'm that guy that just rolls my eye. I laughed so hard when I seen Fast and the picture for Fast and the Furious, like 68, and one guy's in a motorized wheelchair, the other one's
Like-
on a motorized scooter.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like drifting. Yeah.
Fast 5 is where it peaked, I think, and after that, it got ridiculous. Like, you're talking Vin Diesel stomps concrete and it breaks. Rock throws a missile, I think. I mean, just crazy. They're live action cartoons, is what they are, and
Yeah.
this new one. I think everyone can tell from the trailer they actually go to space. So,
Yeah.
but I heard. What's funny is a lot of people who love these films, who've criticized them, they're like, yeah, the physics are entirely out the window in this film, like as if they weren't before. But I guess it must be that bad for the lovers of the franchise to be like, no, you lost me. Which is like, I don't get how you didn't get lost before, but it's just crazy.
I don't know. This,
I want to like
new
them, but it's just funny.
yeah, I want to like him too, but it's like without Paul Walker in it, I'm kind of
Yeah. It just makes me feel
like they're just
stupid,
being on his
Like,
grave with it.
right. It's just like, this is just goofy. Like,
So
it's kind of like
no,
Men in Black
Suicide
2.
Squad,
Yeah.
the Suicide Squad, I'm kind of excited to see it. It looks, I don't know. I never judge a movie by its trailer, but
This,
just
yeah.
from what I've seen so far, it looks better than the first one. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with it. You can't go wrong with Idris Elba. He's a tremendous actor.
Yeah. I like
And they
the,
got they got Sly Stallone to voice the King Shark or whatever.
Yes.
God.
that's
So the
perfect.
question is King Shark going to be dumb as a box of rocks, or will they
Yeah.
give him some intelligence?
I think he's going to be dumb.
Because I've seen him on both ways.
Yeah, just like,
Yes. They said, yeah.
Um,
They're like, what's your situation? He's
Yeah.
like, Bird.
he's kind of like the Hulk in a way. It's like it depends on who's writing
Yes.
for him.
You're right.
He's either smart or he's dumb as a box of rocks.
Yeah.
But if he's dumb as a box of rocks, nobody better than Sly Stallone.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. They're like, just say
I
these
love-
lines. Don't try anything
Yeah.
different. Just say these lines.
For the most part, I enjoyed the first one. I had a few problems. I wish
Yes.
they had gone more into detail with the Croc.
Yeah.
You
I
gave
like the
all
look
these
of
other
it. Yeah.
people- Yeah. You gave all these other people a backstory, and then his was like, you got treated like a monster, so became one. And that's not how that worked.
Yeah.
That was my only.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was entertaining. I will probably catch this when it falls on to HBO Max.
hmm
I'm not gonna lie, because I'm curious. The star, I know that creature because I've seen it in the comics. I've seen it in the cartoons. In fact, recently I just seen what they did with it on Young Justice. They
Mhm.
just finished season 3. So this is a very devastating creature.
The starfish, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Who conquers galaxies.
Wow.
It creates smaller versions of itself, and when one of those smaller versions hits you, whether it's on your chest, your face, whatever, it takes over your body. You
Ah,
became a puppet for the main one. So
interesting.
yeah, well, I've seen that version. I've also seen where it shows you your greatest desire, and so you stand there and just stare off into space and do absolutely nothing,
hmm
where it completely immobilizes you. And that is, so I've seen both sides of it. So this is either way, this is a very menacing creature. How they're going to take, and I'm looking up all the characters,
hmm
how we're taking a dozen people. I'm wondering, I'm sorry, Polka Dot Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering how we're going to all work these people in, and who's going to live and die. I am excited to see Nathan Fillion and
Mhm.
Michael Rooker
Yeah.
on the cast. So I'm really curious on how we're going to do that. But John Cena looks absolutely ridiculous. I don't know much about Peacekeeper though, so
I don't either,
the
but
Peacemaker.
I'm
So-
digging his lines though. It's hilarious, especially the second trailer. It's talking about like an island of dicks or something. He's like, if I had to suck them all, I would for America or something like that. It was just the way he
I'm
said
gonna
it.
have
was
to
funny.
look into him.
You
gonna
gotta
have to
see
look
it.
into that
No,
one.
it's hilarious. Yeah, the whole him taking notes. I love that in this one. Yeah,
I think he's very much like the Alpha Chad Super Patriot
Yeah.
guy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like if Captain America drank, Monster Energy drink and smoked Newports.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but
I mean, yeah, we
anyway.
We got a lot of characters. Joel Kinnaman's back as Rick Flag. Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn. Viola Davis is Amanda Waller. So yeah, you got a lot of people returning from the first Suicide Squad film. This is kind of like a light reboot, I take it. I will say, the director David Ayer really he had the Zack Snyder treatment, if you will, of his version of Suicide Squad. It would have been, I think, a lot better than what we got, and they're still pushing for his own cut of that film. So we'll see if that happens. Yeah. But in the meantime, yeah, this new one looks fun, and I think they're in on the joke too. So it's not, it's not like they don't get it.
If James Gunn can take Guardians of the Galaxy and make that interesting, he can probably do the same with this.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I think he wouldn't have done it otherwise unless he was confident it was done right. A lot of these characters, I'm sure, will die off really quickly. I like the Weasel.
I'll go see it in the theaters like I did with the first one.
Yeah,
just because that felt like kind of a waste. But I don't know. I'll probably wait till it comes out on streaming or something like that to see it. But it looks pretty good. I mean, I'm confident in it. I guess it'll probably bring some good box office numbers. I guess. We'll see.
Yeah, I hope it's successful.
I hope it. What I really hope, like, I kind of got this feeling from the trailer. It was almost like they replaced Deadshot with Idris Elba's character, and it's going to be the same movie but with a different lead.
Yeah,
kind of wary about, but he's like I said, he's probably one of my favorite actors. So if he can pull something, if he can polish a turd and make it look shiny. Then,
yeah, because he's playing Bloodsport. So, but I do like how they said like he put Superman in the ICU. Like that's interesting to me, and I like when they talk about that.
Okay, so Conjuring 3. Okay, so the first one we dealt with a poltergeist, and the second one we deal with an actual demon, which you meet which goes on to get its own movie, The Nun. I've also been told there's a scene in the movie where. In the second one, where the little kid sits and watches one of those, you turn the light on it and spin it, and it does a little movie.
Yes,
it's moving pictures, and it was the Crooked Man. And during the movie, he appears. The Crooked Man appears. So it's almost like it's another demon. Nice. So he's gonna get his own movie as well. In the third one, they deal with the actual Satanist who summons a demon.
Yes.
I will say that. I was not as afraid of this one. Didn't scare me like the second one did. Didn't creep me out, but it was still very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
What gets is the movie literally opens up, and it takes place in the 80s. And the movie is about how a young man gets possessed and kills somebody, and the Warrens are trying to prove that the boy was possessed and not himself when he killed this guy.
Oh, okay.
They have to prove possession. So the movie opens up with a 8 or 10-year-old being possessed, and they're trying to exorcise this demon. The kid, and things go down where the demon transfers from a little boy to an adult, or to like a 21-year-old. So it's a good movie. I don't want to give off too much away.
Sure.
At the very end of the movie, they play audio from the original possession of the 10-year-old boy.
Oof.
And the things he say. And I'm sorry, that voice will send chills up your spine.
The actual voice.
Yes. They show part of an interview with the Warrens on TV in real life when they talked about how they were trying to prove possession in the courtroom. And then they show pictures of the kid, the guy who's going to be tried for murder. There's a scene where he's looking over his shoulder in the movie, going to the courthouse towards the end. they show a picture of him side by side with the actual person, and from when it happened. So you get to see the actual person that was in this trial compared to the character, a picture of his girlfriend in the movie and in real life. And then they did a side-by-side comparison of the real Ed Warren compared to the actor and his wife and the actress who played her.
Oh, wow.
So it was a real neat. You got to see pictures from when this happened and the people it affected. And it actually tells you at the very end the outcome of the trial. So
really,
but it was a very So it was. You don't see the outcome. At the very end, he's going into the courtroom. However, but at the very end, it tells you what happened and what happened to the couple. But it was a very neat movie.
Wow.
It was, they deal with a Satanist who is summoning a demon. And like I said, I don't think it's as scary as the first one, but there was a lot of creepy effects and there was a lot of it made me stop and think if I really seen some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where the guy becomes possessed in prison.
Oh.
Because he floats. And it's like, I can only imagine in the 80s being the person behind the glass who's monitoring him, mopping the floor, or monitoring his room with the priest in there. And all of a sudden, dude is hovering 4 feet off the floor and speaking in a weird dialect. Like I probably would have in the 80s, if as an adult, I would have soiled myself.
Oh, God, yeah.
So,
totally.
And people come in and witness this in the movie. So I can only imagine what if these things happened, the experience, seeing them from that person's point of view in that time period. It was, I really enjoyed it.
Well, for those who don't know, the Warrens are actually real people, and these 3 films they've been a part of were actual events, correct? Like, I think their daughter or their son-in-law is the one's been behind it. The Warrens are gone now. Are they?
Yeah, Ed died in 2006, I think, and his wife died in 2012. And I actually got to looking at it, and Annabelle resides with their son-in-law. Now, what happened to the rest of their collection, I don't know. So, in fun fact, Annabelle doesn't look like the doll in the movie. Annabelle looks like a Raggedy Ann.
Right.
Handmade Raggedy Ann doll.
I don't know which is more scary.
I think the Raggedy Ann doll is creepier because she's handmade, so she doesn't. Yeah, she's creepier.
Yeah,
because she's handmade, so her dress is a little off and stuff. But that's what disturbs me the most is if there's any truth to the movies that how much problems she caused. Then you go to a garage sale and see children's toys for sale, and it's like I don't even want to touch those.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Does not help.
And then you think about
toy line.
You think about Robert, who was a handmade doll, and the story behind him. And those of you who don't know about Robert, you should look into him. He's anybody who becomes a possession of him before he ended up in a museum. Their personality completely changed. And the story is that now, if you do not ask his permission to take his picture, bad things happen to you. Until you apologize, you end up with bad luck.
Jesus.
So, just handmade dolls are just not my. I don't think I want them in my house.
Especially if they're made with hate, It's like, ooh.
Yeah. I want to know who made them and why. Like my grandmother's got a friend. My grandmother's got a friend who makes all kinds of stuff for my daughter, and I'm okay with that because that woman is an angel.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to walk up to cross. Oh, my great grandma's nanny made this for no. Well, they can stay on that table.
She was underpaid and she hated the family.
I'm not touching it.
Right. Yeah. So the Conjuring trilogy, if you will, how do you rank? So you rank the second one the most scariest out of 3, or?
It's been a while. Now the first one scared me because it was new for me, but I think the second one's the scariest. But all 3 of them were very entertaining.
Good.
And for the fact that it's a sequel, and it held my interest, because some sequels just fall short. I think that it did the name justice.
Good.
And,
So-
and the fact that it's been the same director and producer on all 3 films, like, because he doesn't want to stop,
Mm-hmm.
that helps.
Yeah, is it James Wan who directed them? Do you recall?
I think so.
Yeah, who also directed Aquaman.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He's got his plate full. Yeah, he's got his plate full. He's
Yeah,
got
he
a whole
does.
list of stuff that he wants to do.
yeah, good.
I think he's working on Mortal Kombat as well.
He
Originally, he
produced
wanted
it.
to. I don't know.
I think he produced it.
originally
Do you
he
recall,
wanted
Bill?
to.
I thought he had some involvement. Well, yeah, he had some involvement on the recent remake that
Yes.
didn't he? Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty solid. I mean, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
think
set
he's
up.
planning to do the sequel too,
They better do it.
as far as
Yeah.
I know.
They better get moving with it. I hope. Hope they don't just stall and be like, "Well,
Yeah.
need to re-examine
Ah.
how they do it."
And I thought that one was very fitting for the character of Shang Tsung. He's going to cheat to win. Why?
Mm.
Because his master wants to win at all costs.
It was
I
interesting.
think that you should have seen more powers out of him, maybe a morph, other than just stealing somebody's soul.
hmm
Yeah.
But
Hard to beat that first
I
that Shang Tsung or whatever we got.
I wasn't that impressed with him. I thought he was.
yeah,
The
Well,
actor's
from
what
the
lost you,
original-
right, Bill? It's the actor they chose.
Well, and he's a tremendous actor too. Like he's been in things that have been good. It was just the fact that he didn't do anything. He was
Yeah.
like some, 90s Saturday cartoon villain.
he better pull out all the stops in the next movie to show us
Well, yeah.
why he's feared.
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
for sure.
But
They need to have an actual tournament in the second one. And
this is
have
this
him-
is supposed to be the pre-tournament. Then the next one is supposed to be the tournament, and the third one, I guess, is supposed to be the Khan or whatever his name is. He's supposed to lose his mind because he lost that tournament and full out invade.
oh, okay.
To
Yeah, that would
break
make
he's
sense.
going to break all the
That makes sense.
rules. So,
Okay.
but the guy who did the 90s one, Khan, he or not Khan, but Shang Tsung, he said that for years after that,
Mhm.
the kids would look at him and cry because they thought he was Shang Tsung.
He was good,
And he
man.
would just smile and cackle at them. He absolutely loved to scare the kids after that.
Yeah.
He's hard to follow.
Right, and actually use him in the new games, don't they?
Mhm.
Yeah, they used him in Mortal Kombat 11 to voice it and everything.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't replace that. I mean, I get why they wanted a fresh cast.
Well,
So,
and-
yeah.
and he even came back for season 2 of Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Oh, I gotta check that out still.
Yeah, I got to find that.
Super interesting. Well, so you recommend the new Conjuring film, correct, Dave?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
The new Conjuring, I recommend that. If you are a fan, I'm also recommending Mass Effect Legacy. If you were a fan of the first those 3 movies, all 3 of them together with all but one DLC, they touched it up a little bit. So that's what I'm playing right now. I'm loving every minute of it, reliving that world.
Great.
Killing time. I'm killing time until Dying Light 2.
Oh yeah, I'm
So-
looking forward to that coming out.
I'm looking forward to seeing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of that come out because that's supposed to come out on my birthday, so that might be a birthday present to myself.
Yeah, definitely. I was just going to recommend for anybody who hasn't played it, Resident Evil 8. Very good. I'm going through that one. Well, editing all the videos of it now.
Sure.
I finished the story finally, and I still like 7 better, but it was a good follow up. Wasn't exactly, it wasn't the over the top bull crap they tried to get away with in like Resident Evil 6, where the guy's punching a boulder. But yeah, it's a pretty good one. I would avoid, if you haven't played it yet, I would avoid all the there's a ton of memes and everything like that out there that'll totally spoil the story for you, so I'd avoid all that. But,
Oh, sure. I've seen some of those, I think.
not really a video game, but if you haven't seen it's kind of related to a video game. If you haven't seen the set photos yet for the Uncharted movie, I would go ahead and check those out. Not thrilled that I'm not thrilled that Mark Wahlberg is playing Sully. But
yeah, I'm not a big fan. of
he has one. He has one mode.
Yes.
You know, the obnoxious Jersey boy.
He keeps getting
Boston
chosen
boy
for all
or
these
whatever.
films. Yeah.
Just
I
go
don't
make
know.
a Ted 3.
Yeah, exactly.
They're making a series, I believe. I think they are making a series, but he won't
Oh,
be a part
God.
of it.
They
I don't think
are.
he'll be a part of it, though.
Yeah, I don't
see
think
it.
he is. I think it's going to be more. It's going to be more of a Seth MacFarlane thing. So it's probably going to have, Seth MacFarlane, Mila Kunis, and
Yes.
whatever her name is that plays Lois. I can't think of her name.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
But yeah, that's all I've got for recommendations.
Sweet. Great. Well, yeah. Check out Conjuring 3. The Devil Made Me Do It, I believe. That's on HBO Max for, I think, until the 30th. So today's the 27th. So hopefully by the time this airs, check it out.
I don't remember if it was the 30th or the 4th, but it's going to drop here soon.
Yes. Yeah, I got to check that out. And of course, Resident Evil 8. Check out 515 Gaming and also Field of Geeks. And with that said, thanks Dave and Bill for being on. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Had fun talking about all these crazy things. And we will be back. I'm Josh.
I'm David.
I'm Bill.
Have a good one.